Mongolia, home of the Nomads. Pre-Dawn, a Mongolian poem by Yui Lin Li. Quiet, a warm kind of darkness. A wolf howls in the distance. There. Do you hear it? There. An answer in the pale dark out of the frustration of the trees. Dogs, barking. A horse waffles, stamps its feet. It is the first morning of all the mornings of the world. The steps are waking from their slumber. Close your eyes. Listen, listen. Do you hear it? This poem is made by Yui Lin Li. She had an infatuation with Mongolia and loved writing poems about the country. This poem describes an early morning in Mongolia, before the sun rises, its serenity and its beauty, the wonderful physical features and nature of Mongolia. Mongolia's geography. Mongolia's location. Mongolia is a small country in Eastern Asia. It is located between Russia and China and is completely landlocked from the ocean. Mongolia is also one of the highest countries in the world with an average elevation of 5,180 feet. Mongolia's population. Mongolia's capital city is Ulaanbaatar. With a parliamentary government, Mongolia has a population of approximately 3.1 million, and with nearly 1/3 of all Mongolian citizens living in the capital. Mongolia's climate. Mongolia's climate fluctuates as much as 35 degrees in one day. Mongolia is very dry, and southern Mongolia is completely dominated by the Gobi Desert. In fact, Mongolia is so dry that it only expects up to 4 inches of rainfall a year. Mongolia's physical features. The tallest mountain in Mongolia is Mount Tavan-Boj. The largest lake is Lake Baikal, shared with Mongolia and Russia. The largest river is the Okran River, and the largest desert is the Gobi Desert. Mongolia's takeaways. Mongolia is one out of only 49 countries to be completely landlocked. A surprising 1/3 of Mongolia's population lives in their capital of Ulaanbaatar. Mongolia is so dry it only expects up to 4 inches of rainfall a year, and this is mostly due to the largest desert in Asia, the Gobi Desert, which is located in Mongolia. Mongolia's history. The Mongolians came from a nomadic tribe called the Huns. Mongolia started as the United States of the Mongols. Genghis Khan unified all these diverse nomadic tribes into the state. Khan conquered other countries as well, adding them to the Mongol Empire. The empire eventually covered most of the majority of modern-day Russia, China, Korea, Southeast Asia, Persia, India, the Middle East, and parts of Europe. Fall of the Mongolian Empire. The Mongolian Empire lasted over 1,000 years, but eventually it collapsed when Chinese rebels fought to free China from the Mongolian-controlled Yuan dynasty. Eventually, the Qing Chinese dynasty took control over Mongolia, but the Chinese only held control over Mongolia for 15 years. Mongolia's independence. The Qing dynasty collapsed in 1911, giving the Mongols a perfect opportunity to gain independence. The Mongolian people asked the powerful nation of Russia to come to their aid and help acquire their independence. Russia agreed to help, and Mongolia was freed from Chinese rule in the same year of 1911. After achieving independence, Mongolia's head religious leader, the Khutu, assumed leadership of the country. Mongolia's rise of communism. Mongolia was greatly influenced by Russia, with Russia being both an ally and a neighbor. When Russia became part of the Soviet Union, Mongolia was quick to follow in joining the communists. Together, the Russians and Mongols protected their borders from the powerful Japanese in the Sino-Japanese War and World War II. These wars only strengthened the alliance between the Soviets and the Mongols. Mongolia in today's world. Mongolia was a communist nation for 70 years, and communism in Mongolia lost power quite recently. Mongolia has since created a parliamentary republic, with Khan Butlag as the current president. Mongolia began as tribes of roaming nomads, forming into United States. This grew to become a world power and the biggest empire of its day. Unfortunately, Mongolia fell into the grip of communism in the 1900s, but has since rejected communist ideas and is now part of a parliamentary republic. Mongolia certainly has a unique past and an exciting future ahead. A section of Kubla Khan, a Mongolian poem by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. And Zendu did Kubla Khan, a stately pleasure dome decree, where Alf, the sacred river, ran, through caverns measureless to man, down to a sunless sea. So twice 5 miles of fertile ground, with walls and towers were girded round. And there were gardens bright with sinuous rills, where blossomed many an incense-bearing tree, and here forests ancient as the hills, enfolding sunny spots of greenery. This poem, written by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, wraps up the essence of Mongolia, encompassing both its past leaders of Kubla Khan, along with its beautiful scenery. Mongolia is certainly an interesting, diverse, and rich environment, with an equally interesting, diverse, and rich history. The home of the nomads, Mongolia is a unique country from Eastern Asia. We're excited. This concludes my presentation of Mongolia, home of the nomads. Thank you for your attention and time.